From the center of the universe, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, this is the SDM Show with your host, Rob Cairns. The SDM Show focuses on business, life, productivity, digital marketing, WordPress, and more. Sit back, relax, grab your favorite drink, and enjoy the show. Here is Rob.
Hey everybody, I'm Rob Cairns. I'm the founder, CEO, and chief technologist at Stunning Digital Marketing. In today's show, I have my SEO expert, Mr. Warren Laine-Naida, with me. And Warren and I are going to do an AMA, Ask Me Anything. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. This episode is brought to you by All-in-One WP Migration, the most trusted WordPress migration plugin with over 60 million sites served. Whether you are switching hosts, changing domains, or moving to a new server, All-in-One WP Migration makes it one click. Try it for free at WordPress.org or visit servemass.com for pro features. Hey, everybody, Rob Cairns here. And today I have my good friend and finally in the same place, Mr. Warren Laine-Naida. Hey, Warren, how you doing today?
Hey, Rob, doing great. Nice chat with you.
How's life in Germany?
Well, there's no air conditioning, and no free refills. So I'm still trying to culturally acclimatize after my time in the States this summer.
Yeah. I am sure you are. The easy way is drink lots of water, which is, to be fair, which is what I do because
Right there.
it's been hot here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, pop refills are pretty common. Free refills in restaurants are pretty common here. So
yeah.
yeah. So today we thought we'd do what we call an AMA or an Ask Me Anything, or I thought we'd do because you're confused. And for
Okay.
those who normally don't know, Warren normally, just because of time zone difference in his teaching schedule, you normally submit your podcast monthly, and then I produce it and put it out for us. This time we're actually together, which is kind of nice for a
Yeah.
change. I mean, yeah. And those who don't know Warren, he's authored many books with Bridget Williard. You're an SEO expert, a teacher, an educator. Am I leaving anything out? I don't think.
Great, just great, normal, all-around guy.
Yeah, that too. And I would, and I said this when I was recording with Bridget earlier, I'd encourage you to go pick up any of their books because they're worth the read. So go get them. Go get them now. So let's dive into the world of AMA because I'm in a real good mood this morning,
Okay,
surprisingly.
great.
And the first question is SEO today still relevant?
Sure. Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, for me, SEO simply means you don't know my name. I offer something that you need, and you have a way to find me. And
Yeah.
I don't think that has changed at all. It's never going to change.
No,
So, how do I get in front of you?
I would agree with you. Is local SEO more relevant today than ever before?
Yeah, local SEO is really important. Um, and I think that's where you can still make some wins if you're still relying on Google. And I think there's still some future there for voice search that most
Hmm.
local businesses have not touched on yet. So there's a lot you can do with local SEO. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'll tell you a story since we're talking about local SEO. In North America, in the US, there's a big jewelry chain called Michael Kors, well
Yeah.
known.
Yeah. I
And
know it.
I have, I think I have an independent jewelry store. It's one of my best friends, and I do all his stuff. Do you know on Google business profiles, I have his local store outranking the Michael Kors store in his area? And I'm
Nice.
not. So it is the point is, it is possible if a small
Yeah.
business does it well to outrank a national brand.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should I be writing for SEO, AI, or humans?
All three.
Okay.
These are three different audiences. You write for your audience, and what I want as a person is different than what an AI bot wants for, let's say, overviews, and it's different
Yep.
than what an LMS wants for chatbot for GEO. So
I
you're writing for three people instead of just one or two now.
I would agree with you. Um, does uh does website speed impact SEO?
That depends. That's the classic SEO answer. That depends. That
Why?
yeah, that really depends. You know, I'm going to say no because if you've got a big enough brand, if you're an authority in a special area, it doesn't really matter if your website loads slowly because you're going to win everywhere else. I think it's best practice, but I have lots of visibility. I've got sites that maybe load at like 80, but I don't think it plays that much of a factor. No, no,
Okay. Okay.
but it's
Um,
important to do.
yeah. Do now this is kind of a bit of an accessibility question. We all know that the web is hot on accessibility rules because of governments and everything else.
Yeah,
And we all know about alt tags. Do alt tags impact SEO?
yeah. Was that a question?
Yes, that's the question.
I'm gonna say yeah, they do because it's like you're leaving money on the table if you don't use them.
Hmm.
Just describe the image, get your keyword in there if necessary, if it works. But it's just, SEO is words, and the crawlers are going to look at words. And if you're missing words in your images, well, that doesn't make any sense. So I would definitely use them. They're also just do it,
Yep.
do everything.
Mhm. And that bit of a fun one. You're teaching, you're doing SEO courses, you're doing social media courses, you're doing other courses. What are people taking more these days? Is it a mixed bag or is it one or the other?
I'm going to say it's a mixed bag, but from what I've seen over the last year, what everyone wants is that it has to include AI,
Hmm.
and you'll even see just all the courses just with AI in the title now. So that's all really I think most people want is to know how they can use AI for whatever it is: Google Ads, social media, SEO, WordPress. So I think they still want the basic stuff.
Yeah.
They want it with AI. Yeah,
The only problem is the cost of AI is going up and not down because we know token cost is going up, right?
this is true, but I think you could probably go as far as to say that the AI cost is kind of like maybe climate change cost. Is
Mm.
that you don't notice it yet, or you don't notice it while you're prompting Claude 73 times about keywords. You don't notice it yet. So
That's
yeah.
an interesting point. If somebody is WordPress the best platform for SEO, or does that depend?
WordPress?
Yeah.
That really depends as well. I would say WordPress has no benefit to SEO than not having WordPress.
Okay.
Now, I used to say the other thing that a CMS has a benefit because Google and Bing will see that it's a CMS and give it that authority. I don't believe that anymore. If you
Okay.
need a website that requires a CMS, then WordPress is good. But if you've got a one pager and you're doing it by yourself, you don't need WordPress. Um,
So,
So it
Not from
depends.
not from an SEO perspective, but
Not from an
I
SEO perspective. Yeah.
but I would argue from a security perspective, you do, because a CMS has built-in security checks that doing a one pager by yourself doesn't have. But
That
that's another
said,
count.
none of the websites I've had hacked. I've had four websites
Yeah,
hacked in 26 years,
yeah.
and all four of them were WordPress websites. I've
I'm
never
not saying
had
not.
static websites hacked.
Yeah. I'm not saying they're not. The reality of it all is if you
Yeah,
don't update your WordPress site,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know what happens. We don't.
But for larger sites, security is better. That makes much more sense, and
Yeah, yeah.
convenience and everything else.
What do you
Yeah.
prefer doing? Do you prefer doing social media work? And by the way, you've done really well on X,
Thank you. Yeah, I had
so
a
do you
great time
prefer
with
that?
the
Do you prefer SEO or do you prefer developing new sites? What do you prefer right now?
that really depends as well.
I'm
I like a
following.
mix. I really like a mix. I mean, my courses are usually 4 weeks long, and I'm doing 4 weeks of SEO. I want to do anything but. Same with social
Yeah,
media, same with web development.
yeah,
So I like a healthy mix, but yeah, it it depends. It's whatever feeling I have. Sometimes I really want to build a website, and
yeah.
sometimes I want to. I'm on Twitter for 4 hours straight because
I
that's what I want to do.
we know.
So it really depends. Sometimes I just love doing SEO. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to only have to do one. I couldn't decide.
How
Yeah.
do you tell a client that SEO is not a set it and forget it problem or solution?
Um, I think the easiest way to explain that is just to ask them, over the last 6 months, you know, what have they looked for?
Hmm.
And if very unlikely they've always been looking for the same thing over the last 6 months, and it's like, well, what are their customers going to be doing? So you've always got to be changing with what people are looking for, and how the industry is changing or your competitors are
Yeah,
doing this. It's not in stone, so just put it, switch it that way.
yeah. The reason I ask that question is I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of clients who think, oh, you can set it up, and then they come screaming a year later and saying, I paid you all this money and it's not working. And I said, well, did you pay for a maintenance plan to maintain it? Right? It's like
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think the problem there is it's the customer, but it's also whoever's doing it.
yeah,
It's I would never get into SEO as a one-off. I would like maybe set the system up, but it'd be very clear to the client that this is not a one-off, and that
yeah,
at least once a month, and hopefully more than once a month, and going forward, like this is at least a 6 month project. But it's the same with social media and things like that.
no,
So
I agree.
yeah,
I agree
yeah.
wholeheartedly. In terms of uh, Google business profiles,
Mm.
which we all love. You're rolling your eyes at me, which means you don't love them. um, should you be making changes to your profile on a regular basis, and if so, what?
You should be updating your profile, but I would hesitate to be updating things like name,
Yes.
or location, things like. As soon as you do that, you risk it being taken down. Update it with reviews, FAQ questions, products, events, articles. This I think is very good. Um, but otherwise, I have very bad experiences with Google Business Profile and most other Google products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that, and I agree with you. One of the things I do, and I don't know if you've ever noticed, every podcast I do goes on the Google Business Profile too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I key,
It's
but
great
don't
to
change
update
the
that, you
name and
know.
the location. Yeah, yeah. And while
Even
you're at
moving
it,
business is a pain with them.
oh, I moved mine 5 years. Oh, I changed the address. What a pain in the butt that was.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I just did this 2 years ago, and it's still never recovered. It's basically done. I started a
Yeah,
different profile. It's
yeah.
crazy.
I get it.
Yeah.
Are Microsoft Bing business places relevant today? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I love Bing. I love Bing. I use Bing, all Bing products as much as possible. They've got 10% of the market share at least.
Yep. Yep.
For institutional, they probably have much more.
Corporate.
Oh,
Corporate.
I love it. Yeah, and it's so easy. You could just it's great. Got to have it.
It, it's interesting
Yeah.
because in the corporate world, a lot of corporations only, especially in the Microsoft world, only allow Edge as a browser. They don't allow third-party browsers, including Chrome.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what people. And by the way, for since we're talking about Bing profiles, if you want to get lazy, you can actually
Mm.
sync your Bing profile and your Google profile, so you don't have to
Yeah.
maintain.
Oh, yeah. It's that your Google Search Console, everything syncs to Bing. You don't even need a Microsoft account. You can log in and create it all with your Gmail account. I mean, it's the
Yep.
easiest thing for beginners. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Yep. Um, does and this is a good one from an SEO perspective. If you're doing web development, you're in Germany. Does using a
Mm,
German host make more
yeah.
sense than using a web host in North America from SEO or no?
For everything, even like legally, I'm if my
Yeah,
business is located in Germany, I would be very silly not to use a German host because if anything goes wrong, why is my data not in Germany? So yeah, it's I use the German one for all my websites, and yeah, clients in the UK we use a UK host. Clients in the States we use American hosts. I think
yeah,
that makes more sense. Yeah.
yep, yeah. A lot of Canadians use US clients, but US hosts, but frankly, with all the crap going on in the US, I don't know if I like that idea either. So there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I use a Canadian host. I use Canadian data
Good.
center.
Yeah, you got to
I'm
support the
already good.
country. A lot of people here, because it's Europe and it's like no borders, but there are. They'll use hosts in like Cyprus or wherever, some crazy place. And but if there's a legal problem with their website, or a problem with the host, well, jurisdiction, you're in Germany, and your host better be
Yeah.
or should be.
So if I'm a site owner
Yeah.
and I know nothing about SEO,
Yeah.
but my SEO sucks. What's the number one thing I can do besides hire somebody to win I can do?
Well, I would, first question, when you say your SEO sucks, what does that exactly mean?
Yeah,
And I think that's the big problem with a lot of site owners. They say, okay, I'm not getting seen.
yeah,
And well, so for what? What do you want to be
mm,
seen? So I think it really goes
yeah,
back, and we did this today in class. We did an SEO, so client brief, and here's the client brief we got back, and we were supposed to look at the brief and then put in questions. It's like, what are we missing? And the biggest, right at the top question was, why do you want to be found? Specifically, for what do you want to be found, and by
yeah,
whom, and where are they? And so I think a lot of the problems I hear is like, I'm not able to be seen. It's like, well, what do you want to be seen for? And a lot of people don't have that thing. or that answer, or they'll say, well, I want to be number one for this keyword. It's like, well, that's never going to happen. It's like, think about it a little more out of the box, So I think expectations, they have very unrealistic expectations. They bring no time to the project.
Yeah, it's true.
And this, so I think get a little, reality into this would be very helpful for everyone. Yep. And like you said, for them to understand this is a long-term organic process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No question. And we say it's a long-term project. So that leads me to my next question. And I think you know where I'm going to go. I made changes today. How long do those usually take? Some people, I'm tired of SEO. Oh, we can get you on page one Google within 20 days. Well, that's not happening. Let's be honest.
Okay. So what changes are we talking about?
Yeah, and how long if I'm making SEO keyword changes, how long do they take usually to impact by the time that Google does its magic?
That's a really good question. Who knows what Google does? I don't think they do anything anymore. I lost faith.
Yeah, well, it's all AI bots.
Yeah. So I don't rely on Google or to do any of this. I kind of try to spread this out. So someone says, okay, we're being found for this or that, and now we want to be found for something. How long is it going to take? And I don't think we should wait. We can wait on Google for that. I think we have to be a lot more proactive. So what I like to really try to do is, the classic stuff. It's like, okay, so what pages are visible right up the top for keywords in this cluster? Do you have some internal links? Start talking about these pages and sharing links on this pages everywhere. This is why social media is such a problem. Get people active on these pages. So all those classic things. I would even go as far to say it's like, okay, Google is fine. What about Bing? And this might sound really bizarre, but
I agree.
Do you have the meta keyword tag in the page? Because Bing still loves this. Google says it doesn't, but who knows? Old school as well. Like throw up a Google ad, $1 a day. Like cover those bases. But if you're waiting for Google, you might be out of business before Google indexes you. Yeah. People still seem to believe that Google and Bing's job are to index our pages, and that's not their job. Your pages could be sitting in the waiting list. They might even be crawled for months. So you've got to be really proactive. And you go ahead.
And I would say one of the ways to be proactive, I was going to go there with a question, but I'm just going to interject, is to do other things. For example, this podcast, do you know, and it's funny because 70% of the clients that I've picked up in the last 5 years that have not been referrals or not been local people have come as a direct result of this podcast and social media.
Nice.
Every last one of them.
Nice. I get all of my non-word of mouth, they direct referrals. I get them over Twitter.
Yeah, Bridget's the same way. It's Twitter DMs. So the point I'm making is so I always shake my head. And it's funny because I woke up this morning. Let me share this with you. It's the usual crap where you got the Philippines people looking for work. And I woke up to 9 emails from quote SEO specialists, and I use that term very lightly, saying you can't be found. And I'm pointing and I just laughed because right after that, I had 5 requests saying, how do we get a pre-interview call for your podcast?
There you go.
So you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. You get these standard emails. I get them every day as well. It's like, oh, we checked your website. And it's just like, I didn't, who cares? I mean, I'm sorry. Like, come on, leave me alone. Yeah. Just to connect with the last 2 things, I think also it's not it's not just a case of putting content out there. I think it's also to understand if you want to be in Google, you have to ask yourself, what does Google want? And what Google
Yes.
really loves is authority,
Yep.
brands.
Yep.
So, don't write a blog post on your website and hope Google's going to index it. Write an article on LinkedIn. Write an article on Substack, on Medium, on Reddit. Google loves that stuff, and you will be visible almost immediately. While your
So it's
website langers, and your website will be on Bing. Bing doesn't care about LinkedIn, but if you want to be in Google, get visible on one of these sites. It's free. You can do it.
it's one of the reason I moved my newsletter a year and a half ago to Substack, as you know, because you
Yeah,
subscribe, and I've
I
I've done
subscribe to you.
that, and
Yeah,
it has made a difference. It has
absolutely.
made a difference for the podcast. Now, the one advice I'll give, since you mentioned Substack, is if you're going to upload a podcast, don't link back to the podcast. Do what I
Yeah,
do and upload the native podcast. And you've seen
yeah,
my emails. You know, I upload both the video and the audio right to Substack.
yeah. This is good advice for any social media. It's still this sort
Yeah,
of thing. It's like it's this is where people are. It could be LinkedIn, it could be Facebook, it could be Substack.
yeah,
The system doesn't want people to leave. So why would you stick an external link? You're not going to get visibility on that. The bot doesn't want people to click on that. Get people
so
talking about it right there. If they want
so
to leave Substack, like they'll find you on Google. But
so
these
so
external links are bad.
which leads me to another thing. I think of
Yeah,
it just because you mentioned it. If you're going to put social media icons on your website,
yeah,
please, please, please do not put them in the header. You don't want people to leave your website. Bury them in the footer. Bury
yeah,
them somewhere.
yeah. Mine are in the footer as well. You've got to really think platform specific. Like if
Yes,
you
sir.
are there offering things here, don't put little signposts so people leave. That makes no sense whatsoever. I don't get that. Except of course, all right, someone's got, I'm mentioning Bridget and our book, and I'm going to have an external link. This is
Yep.
this is
Yep.
fine. External links are good. But otherwise, I'm really surprised so often external links and things to get away from this site and thinking, why? What don't you want me to see?
Yeah. And then I'm gonna lead a non-SEO question to kind of wrap it up. What are you reading right now outside of the work you do?
Big Sir, Jack Kerouac.
How's that?
Well, it's quite upsetting, to be honest. I've read all of Kerouac's books, and I
Mm,
read Big Sur about 2 years ago. And in June, I was all over California,
I know you were.
Monterey, Santa Monica. Like
You had fun.
I was, it was like the best 2 weeks in years.
Mm,
And here's the horrible part: I had forgotten to do any research. I actually made a holiday. I went on holiday without any research.
that's so not like you.
That is completely unlike me. And now I'm paying the price because I came back and I'm rereading Big Sur and all
Yeah.
of those things I missed. It's like, oh my God, I was 15 minutes from Henry Miller's house. How did I not go there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I drove through here and didn't realize this is exactly where. Usually, I prepare myself for these things. So, like, I want to pay homage to these. This is usually how I
Yeah.
travel, and
Me
this
too.
time it's off my and I feel so bad. It's numbing knowing that
Yeah.
I missed
Yeah.
things that I should have paid attention to. It's
Yeah.
horrible. Of
I'm
course, Big
reading it.
Sur is nothing now like it was in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
However, that's
Yeah. You need
yeah,
to come home and visit home again. We were saying in a call the other day, so you need to get your butt
crazy.
home.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I need to get back to Ontario because I had really great years in Ontario. But the last time I was there, it's all changed,
It
and
has.
I
When was
really
the last time you were here, Warren?
Last time I was fully there was in 2012.
It
I
has
was there
changed.
for, yeah, I was there for two
Toronto's got
years.
Toronto's gotten insane, and it's just gotten nuts. It used to be, it's funny, you used to be able to drive from Toronto to Niagara Falls, and you know that
Yeah,
road. And you would get gaps in between the cities. There are no gaps anymore. I am telling you, it is insane.
I
But
went to
you know,
school in Ontario, Southern Ontario, in the early '90s, and I
yeah,
left Ontario in 1992. So that was for me Toronto and Southern Ontario, and
yeah,
then I came back 10 years later, and was no, I came back 20 years, no, 10 years later, 10 years later,
10
and it
years
was like
later.
this is horrible. And I come back again. I mean, I don't think I could come back again. I don't think if I could handle that. It's as you
I
say.
think you could. It's just changed so much. I mean, I'm used to it. You know,
I don't know.
we always talk. I came to Ontario from Montreal. We always talk and say, "Would you ever go back to Montreal?" I said, "No, this is
Yeah.
home. I've been here for 47 years. That's not true. 44 years now.
Okay.
So, I'm not going anywhere. I'm
For
quite
me,
happy. So,
Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, Toronto, for me, I still see these things as I remember them in the 70s
yeah,
and
of
the
course.
early 80s. That is for me, those cities. And anytime I go back now, I feel assaulted. It's like, what the hell? Is this Blade Runner? What's happened to my city?
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah,
Um, and just a little bit of history for you. If you were in Ontario, you probably watched a little bit of news, and the famous newscaster on CTV was a guy by the name of Lloyd Robertson. He had been there
yeah.
for years. He passed away yesterday. So,
Oh, no. Oh,
at
man. I
90,
remember, oh, I remember him like early 70s and stuff,
yeah,
listening to him, watching him. Oh, wow.
yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy.
he started at CBC and then went to
Yeah,
CTV, and he
Lloyd
was
Robinson. Wow.
a passionate Canadian who loved this country. And yeah, he was 92 yesterday. Not yesterday, day before. It was
Are you
Tuesday.
still allowed to love your country in Canada?
Yes, you just have to ignore the person who keeps calling this country the 51st state, and our
Uh,
prime minister the governor, and. But
don't get me
I'm not
started.
gonna.
The last good Canadian prime minister was Pierre Elliott Trudeau. The
Yep,
last
no question.
time it was good prime minister. I don't know what happened to the rest. Kind of the same as happening in the
I'm going to
UK.
tell you what happened. What happened there? The
Oh,
same thing that happened in the rest of the world. They don't
yeah,
work with anybody anymore. But
yeah.
that's a
That's
show
it.
for another show.
That's the show. All you need to
Hey,
know.
yeah. Hey, Warren. Thanks for doing an AMA with
Thank
me.
you. Great questions.
I
Thank you, Rob.
appreciate I appreciate your videos every month and spending time with us. It's we got to do a few more shows in person because they're
For
fun.
sure. Yeah.
I appreciate you. And as always, Warren Laine-Naida from somewhere in Germany, because that's where he lives. And
That's where
Rob
I live.
Cairns from the center of the universe, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Yes, it is. Thanks for joining us, and have a great day, and bye for now. Thanks again to our sponsor, All-in-One WP Migration by ServeMask. Export your entire WordPress site in one click, import it anywhere. No server access needed, no command line, works with every hosting provider. Free on WordPress.org or extension at servemask.com. A very special thank you to Warren for joining me on this edition of the SDM Show. The SDM Show is dedicated to my late father, Bruce Cairns. Dad, I miss you very much every day. My mother, Ann Cairns, who's still doing really well and is an inspiration. And of course, Tiz Maroney. And Tiz, I know I've said it, but thank you so much for all the inspiration you give me every day.